In this final video, I review the appendix materials which describes the project, summary, rhetorical reading notes, descriptions, as well as the course rubrics. Very generally, you will find information about all three projects here. I will provide you more substantial information for each project within each module, but this should give you an idea of what to expect for each module. In the first project, I will task you with analyzing our rubrics to find out what kinds of metaphors you can find in them, and there are many. For example, as you look through the rubrics, you'll find language about craftspersons or apprentices. Rubrics and apprentices really don't go hand in hand. We use those language for metaphors to understand levels. So we'll talk more about that, but that gives you an example. In the second project, I'm going to ask that you rewrite the UNF Academic Integrity Code, as well as explain your updated version. And then in the third project, I'm going to ask you to review the language and metaphorical use of language inside of Rebecca Moore Howard's Sexuality, Textuality, the Cultural Work of Plagiarism, to produce a cogent argument that shows me that you understand rhetorical situations. Again, we'll discuss this in greater detail as the semester moves forward and we get to that last module. In the second appendix, you'll find a preset copy of the rhetorical reading notes. This is a two-part system. In the first part, you have the rhetorical situation. I ask that you explain the main idea, the author, the structure, and the argument for each piece of writing you read. In the second part, which will accomplish about 300 words of space, you need to explain through a quote what you feel is the center of the argument and why you think so, as your reaction to the text, and any questions you might have, or one good question. This is a pass-fail opportunity. These are worth 25 points per reading notes, so you get 100% of points if you pass it. In essence, you must answer 70% or more of the first section's questions correctly, and you must also respond with a minimum of 300 words for part 2. If you do neither one of these things, you earn a 0 on this work, and you cannot repeat the assignment. You will complete this assignment 9 times throughout the semester. For the summaries, these are each worth 40 points, and you'll complete 2 per module. You get to choose which text you want to summarize from each module. In one paragraph, do not exceed one paragraph, always one paragraph, and it cannot be longer than 250 words. You must summarize the text. Summarizing a text is not as easy as it sounds, and you'll find that out as you review the rubrics and your scores going forward as you turn these in. Always proofread, run spell check on your documents. Word does not automatically spell check for you. Always run it actively. You'll be scored with 4 rubrics: paragraph, coherence, grammar, mechanics, style, and measurable demonstration of summary. Here you'll see a scale of how to earn each grade from A through D. If your summary does exceed 250 words, you will receive a 0 for it, so be sure you're competent and confident about the number of words you're using there. Lastly, the rubrics. I'll discuss these more in detail in their own video, but I want to review them for you so you can understand and see what we're talking about throughout the semester. These UNF Rights rubrics are an innovation from the Department of English that we use to assess certain traits in your writing. Any trait in your writing we can assess. We, however, only focus on a few. The first is your thesis. The second, logical coherence and development. That is, how understandable, intuitive, and followable is your writing? Is it predictable? Does it tell us where you're going and how to get there? Thirdly, evidence. How much evidence do you use? How well do you use it? And to what end do you use it? Fourth is mechanics. Many people worry about mechanics, but if you look on this 4th page in this section, you'll see there are only 10 errors that we look at throughout the course and count against you. I'll find and locate other errors for you as they come up, but these are the 10 that you need to worry about. Finding out and knowing what sentence fragments are, run-ons and comma splices, error use in semicolons, error in verb tense or form switching, errors in subject-verb agreement, errors in pronoun agreement or pronoun form, any mistake in spelling or capitalization, any mistake in homophones, or any sentence that lacks any proper syntax or word order. The 5th rubric is a measurable demonstration of the ability to summarize. This is a checklist. This is a very easy document to use. If you want to score high, which to me is a 4, you need to do these 10 things. Every summary you write should offer a restatement of the source text central idea. That is, what is that text about? It should identify a context for the reading. That is, who wrote it, what's it called, who is it written for? 3, it should exclude your personal opinion. No summary includes you. You are outside of the text, you are not in the summary. The summary summarizes the text. Never confuse the two. 4. Identifies at least one major point that supports the central idea. 5. Discusses and inventories rhetorical elements. What is the text composed of? How is it organized? Uses primarily his or her own words and avoids quotes, or only quotes sparingly. That is, don't draw quotes from the text. Use your own words to describe what happens. You're trying to be outside of the text and describe it as objectively as possible. Includes and differentiates between major and minor points. Uses third-person point of view and present tense. This is important and will be discussed later, but when you do discuss literature or any piece of writing, you discuss it in the present tense. It's always happening. And then for the A level, which is a 4 or higher, you connect key or main points to the source text central idea and include important examples. Knowing how to include examples and major points is very hard and a very good skill to have, but when you have 250 words of space, focus on giving all the information first before you give examples. And then finally, we have the plain English style. This rubric explains how you should be writing for this course. This does not explain how to write a novel. This does not explain how to write a mystery novel or some sort of pleasurable reading. We are writing to the point, explicit prose that helps a reader understand something. In this way, you want to use active verbs, clear subjects, pronouns like I, you, and we, things that make the reader understand who's doing it and what that who is doing. Also transitional words and phrases. We want to avoid what we'll call nominalizations and hidden verbs or verb doubling and unnecessary language. These are all stylistic concerns we will discuss throughout the semester. Otherwise, this is the extent to which your appendices give information about the assignments and the rubrics.